Hello, how there? You are welcome to another edition of your program, Project Nigeria. Today on the set with me is Senator Ali Ndume, representing the people of Borno South in the Nigerian Senate. Senator Ali Ndume is a grassroots politician and is also close to the people concerned in the challenge facing that part of the country. Distinguished, you are welcome to Project Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Before we go further, our viewer across the world would like to know who is Senator Ndume.
My name, as you said, is Senator Ali Ndume. I'm the senator representing Borno South. I was born on November 20th, 1959. I'm married with 10 children. I have 2 wives. I was educated in Nigeria and the United States. I have a higher diploma from Nigeria Polytechnic, Kaduna Polytechnic, and a master's degree from the University of Toledo. I have been in this National Assembly 3 times now, 2 times in the House of Rep, and now by the grace of God as a senator representing Borno South. I think that is it.
If you are to speak for your people, how do you feel with the present development in Borno State, especially the north and eastern part of Nigeria?
Well, let me be very honest with you. Because I have never thought that one day I will be a senator representing Borno South under this circumstance. I must tell you that if it is something that I have known, that you say you are a senator representing Borno South, or let me say like the situation I find myself, where people are being killed, where there's insurgency, where I cannot even go and sympathize or condole those that died. Before I went to Chibok, where the girls were abducted, it took me 2 weeks. In fact, with the combination of threat, I told them I will go, anything can happen to me, but I have to go and see my people. So under that circumstance, you can't say I'm a happy senator, no. Even as an ordinary Nigerian, I have never thought that our situation would degenerate to this level. But we have to have faith in God, we have to have hope in our country, and we have to look at the global phenomenon. We are not the first country witnessing such thing, but this is the first time it's happening around with us. So to tell you, I'm just trying to do my best as a representative of the people, but I'm not a happy man with what, you can't be happy with what is happening. You know, I wish by tomorrow this issue has come to an end and peace returns. Because let me say here that I represent the people of Borno South. Majority of Nigerians are poor people. And the only thing that poor people can get from government is peace. And there's no peace with my people. So you can see my people cannot, they are primarily farmers. They cannot go to farm. They cannot sleep with their 2 eyes closed. Their children cannot go to school. If I had not gone to school, my father didn't go to school. And because he didn't go to school, the best he could get out of in the Nigerian army was last comfort. But here I am today as a senator. I'm the product of government school. I went to public school, I went to public primary school. If not, if it is today, like you have to take your children to private schools before they get good education, I wouldn't have been educated because my parents would have been able to afford it. So I feel pained when children are not only now not allowed to go to school, some of them have been killed in school. Some of them have been abducted now. So you can from deduce how I feel.
31 days after the
girls were abducted.
No clue yet. What we tell the parents, or what do you think the government is doing right now concerning the parents of those adopted girls?
Well, as it is now, everything that needs to be done should be done in order to get the girls back. This is not time for shifting blames. This is not time for passing box. This is not time for looking for scapegoat. This is not time for excuses. The government should do whatever it can do, whatever it takes to get those girls back. And we are lucky that we have international community behind us. And we are lucky that we have international community support us. All I will say is that government should not sleep. Government should, the government is saying it's doing its best, and the only best that will satisfy Nigerians and the world now is when the children are back. Everything should be done to bring those children back. We lost the opportunity because the reaction time was long, and now, when the reaction time is long, you have this extended period. But we are praying and we have hope because we discuss with the government, we discuss with the security, they are giving us hope, and we believe they are working. And we want to believe that these girls will be back.
Senator, let me take you on this. Since the Boko Haram released the video of the Abducted girl, and government has kept saying repeatedly that they are not going to negotiate with the insurgent or with the Boko Haram. Then, what is the way? How would they? What do you think can be done for this girl to be rescued alive, not be injured?
You see, these are some of the fundamental problems that we have in this country. In terms of dealing with the situation. I'm not a security expert.
Yeah.
I cannot be talking to you now. You are just a reporter, and I'm just a senator.
Yeah.
So why should we be talking about the issues? The issues have gone out of our hand.
Yeah.
I think what we need to do now is to encourage those responsible, that's the security organizations, to do whatever it takes to get the children back. I don't want to be involved in the debate of this swapping of these people and all that. I don't want to be involved in that. But I want to be involved in getting whatever it takes to get the children back. So the issue of whether negotiate, don't negotiate, you see, you must talk to somebody. You must negotiate with somebody. At one time, the frustration we are facing about this Boko Haram issue is that they are faceless. And therefore, the government were panicking, grabbing this, going this, doing that. But now that they have a lead, then they have to follow that lead. All I can say in this case is that it is better to talk. What or how they negotiate, that is another thing. And we are lucky now we have people from the international community, experts in this. We are not experienced in this kind of situation. We have countries now that are willing to support us, that have experience, 30, 40, 50 years experience in dealing with insurgents. I think we should utilize that. I think you should ask those questions to them, not me as the senator. What I do is to represent the people, represent. The parents are saying, bring back our children. And that's what I'm saying too. Because that's what my people are saying, bring back the children. No matter what you do, bring back the children.
Let's look at the build-up before the schoolgirl were abducted. Do you think the security were doing enough?
Well, this is another issue too that my contribution will be restricted because it's a security issue. Yeah. The truth of the matter is that whatever you do or whatever the security does, if there's one incident, we will say they are not working because we want peace. Yeah. So if there is attack in my local government and you ask me whether military are doing well, I will say no. But in your own case, you will say they are doing fine because your village is not attacked and you are secured. This is number one. But the truth of the matter is that our security that are on ground are doing their best. They are laying their lives. Some of them are being killed in order to protect our people. You can't just come out on the TV and say they are not doing anything. But yet, our people are being killed. Mm-hmm. So you can't say they are doing their best. So it means that more needs to be done. I mean, they need to be equipped more. They need to be taken care. Their morale needs to be boosted. The government needs to do more. Until there is peace, we will not say that government is performing. You understand? But that does not mean again that they are not doing anything. If you see the conditions that our soldiers are, if you come to the TV here, I have met some of them where I did not expect. I have met some of them in a condition where I will not encourage, I will not voluntarily want to find myself there, trying to serve this country. And yet, the insurgents keep terrorizing and killing people. And the responsibility of that protection is with our military. So, that's the true situation.
What has happened to the issue of the kidnap of the girl? What do you think the impact is going to have on the girl child education in that region?
Well, I don't want to imagine. I'm thinking that, and I have this feeling, and I'm hoping that these girls will come back and go back to school. They have gone through a lot of trauma, but the government has committed itself that once they get them back, they are going to give them special attention. So I want that to think positively. I'm an optimistic person. But the Chibok is a very small local government. Chibok is one of the smallest local government and one of the least populated in my zone.
Okay.
In a local government like that, of their population, it's about 6, based on the last statistics figure, although we are arguing on that, it's a little bit over 60,000. If you take away 200 females from such society, it's not a small impact. And as I said, the most devastating thing about it is, you see, most of us there are from the poor background. We look at education as the window that will remove us from poverty. The parents of these girls did not send these children to only get educated. They sent those girls, especially the girls, hoping that it will change when they change their social or economic status. And that hope has been dashed, especially at the end when most of them were there to sit for their WAEC exams. So it's better than imagine. We hope they're back, and we hope. I am positive. I'm optimistic. I hope they are back safe, and I hope they will continue to pursue and even get the education they are looking for. I hope so.
Via, please don't go away. We'll be going for a short break, and Senator Ndume will be back on the platform. I am on the streets of Abuja, the Nigerian Federal Capital Territory. Just like any other nation, Nigeria is coping with various challenges, which include socio-economic issues, unemployment, and insecurity.
As we are alive to review the first 100 years of our nation, so by the grace of God, with others, we are alive to review what we have done during the time that we have the opportunity to be in the leadership of this country.
We cannot continue like this as a nation. A time will come when the poor in this country will have nothing to eat but the rich. A time will come, those of us who drive on jeeps, it will become dangerous to even drive those jeeps outside. What happened in Libya is smelling in Nigeria.
In a quest to provide solution to some of these challenges, here comes Project Nigeria. Via, you are welcome back. The program is the Project Nigeria, and my guest is Senator Ndume. He has talked about the various challenges confronting the people of Borno State and in general the people of Northeast Nigeria. Senator, few days back, the President of Nigeria has sent a request to National Assembly asking for the extension of emergency rule after a year thereabout. What's your take on this?
What's my take? You know, there are two issues there.
Okay.
One is my person.
Yeah.
as Mohammed Ali Ndume.
Yeah. And I know the northern senator has also.
And then as a senator representing Borno South,
Okay.
from Borno. This is not the first time the president is sending requests for the extension for imposition of state of emergency. We unanimously did that because we thought it's required in order to address that time the issue of insurgency. The second time, we are also unanimously approved. Unfortunately, the situation moved from bad to worst. Every Nigerian knows that. The number of killings in schools, in villages, in towns, even just last week, over 400 people were killed in Gomboru. So now, and that is the time the president now is asking for extension. And people have a lot of reservations. Say, extension for what? Extension to make the situation move from bad to worse? Or what? So that is what brought this debate now. And I don't want to preempt the decision of the Senate. One was, if it were before, we would have just given the go-ahead. But before the president asked for the extension, the people I represent told me that no, enough of this. Why would you have state of emergency that will aid and abet the Boko Haram or the insurgency and move us from bad to worse? But at the same time, if you say, okay, there's no state of emergency, what is the consequence of that? So these are the things that we are now weighing. We are doing a lot of consultation. We are going back to consult this weekend. And that is why we stood the issue of voting on it down until we do a wider consultation. I'm expecting what has just happened. What happened today is we invited the service chiefs and the heads of security organizations to come and tell us the state of emergency that we gave you for 1 year, how did you execute it? What did you do? What are the progress that you have made? And they did that. Now we'll say, okay, as a representative of the people, we'll go back to our people again and say, this is what these people told us. Because there are certain things actually that you can't read on the pages of newspaper, or you can, but in the closed session they will open up and they told us. And these are security issues that I cannot even tell you now. But when I go and do my consultation with my people, I will tell them again the side of the security chiefs and the reason why they need the extension. Because we want to point that if you don't have state of emergency, won't you be able to do what you are doing? And this is the question, some of the few questions that were asked from Borno. There were challenges in some states. And that if it is military deployment, there are troops that were deployed to some states where they had challenges similar, although not of the same magnitude. And it didn't require declaration of state of emergency. So these are the discussions that we are engaged in. At the end of it, it is the will of the people and the wisdom of going for or against that will prevail.
What will you say in the last 1 year of the emergency rule in those states? Has it paid off?
No, in some states, like we are arguing with my colleague, the first area where Boko Haram was predominant was Borno North, senatorial. And when the army, during the first state of emergency period, when the army went after them, in fact, they took over some local governments and hosted their flag.
Yeah.
But you could see the army went and then chased them. They came to Maiduguri. The army continued their offensive against them. And fortunately and mysteriously and by God's help, the civilian JTF took up arms. That means separating the Boko Haram and the patriotic youths. They chased them out of Maiduguri. And their safe haven now is in my zone. That is why I'm receiving at the receiving end. If my senator from Borno South North can say insurgency has achieved its purpose, I will not be in position to say that, because Boko Haram are right now terrorizing my people and they are resident in Sambisa in my zone. So to the senator representing Borno North, state of emergency is okay. To me, when they stop, that's why I say unless they will go after then and get my people, set my people free and be peaceful again, then to me the state of emergency is yet to even come, not to talk of working. So these are the things that we are looking at. And everybody knows now the hub of the insurgents is in Sambisa, and Sambisa is in my zone. So this is it. To me, to others, this declaration of state of emergency and what the military did was a blessing. But even in Borno Central, the senator is crying out. Gombore is in Borno Central. Kala Balge is in Borno Central. Bama is in Borno Central. Kondega is in Borno Central. All this, Alagarno is in Borno Central. These are seriously affected. And in my own zone, the impact now has moved them to Sambisa. And Sambisa is largely occupying 2 of my key local governments, including my own town, my birthplace, Goza and Dambua. These are the most affected. But recently now we are having some pressure from Adama again, along the Gulag side. So we are looking at this issue, but more critical this time around.
In as much as we don't want to preempt what the decision of the Senate or the government, as an elected, representative of the people of the Borno South, without state of emergency, what do you think is the way out to this security challenge?
I have no doubt that the Senate will come out with what is in the best interest of Nigerians. Let me just let me just leave it at that. You see, security matters are matters that you don't sensationalize it, and then you don't start opening your mouth and talking about it, because it's a very sensitive issue, and then you have to be professional in it. As I said, we are looking at this issue of the need to extend the period of emergency. We have given Mr. President the required support in order to, implement the state of emergency for 1 year. I think it is reasonable or responsible for us as a senator, as senators of this country, great country, to sit down and analyze the performance, X-ray, analyze, look at the performance, and even maybe look at the conditions, and even ask questions like, do you need state of emergency to be declared first before you do these things? We are asking all these questions, and we are getting answers. Based on those answers and information we get, we'll take a decision that is in the best interest of this country. I can assure you that.
Let's look beyond the present challenge.
Yes.
What do you think is the future of Borno State or Northeast?
Borno State are resilient people. If you go back to Maiduguri now, where there's relative peace, you won't believe that Borno went through what it's gone through. And generally, Nigerians are very resilient. Nigerians are very hardworking people. As I said, all they need is peace. Once they have relative peace, it's just like flower, it will bloom. We are very hopeful. Building those destructions that have been, it's not going to be easy, especially the loss of life. We cannot bring back anybody. You understand? All I know is I have trust in Nigerians. I'm a Nigerian. I'm a son of poor man that came up and become a senator. So that means a Nigerian can be a son of poor man and come up to be somebody. There are so many other Nigerians that are if you look at their background, they have come a long way in various sectors that have made it from grassroots or from poor background and changed their lives. And so I'm hopeful Borno will change, or it will be back as a center of peace again, inshallah.
My last question. 2015 general elections are around the corner. And some times ago, INEC said there might not be election in those affected states. What do you think what impact do you think all this challenge will have as
Many Nigerians express this, that they fear that the election will not hold. No, this is a pessimistic way of thinking. You should be thinking optimistically and objectively. This situation we find ourselves is not only new in Pakistan, in Afghanistan. Afghanistan recently had election. I don't think in Israel, in Palestine, in Iraq even, in Iran, all these areas are people, in Mali, in here, in Algeria, all of it, they conduct the election. So why are we saying that there will not be the election? I mean, this attitude, I think, must change. We should be positive that by God's grace, or we hope by tomorrow or next week, this problem will come to an end. So if you are saying that 2015, we are in 2014 now, it means you are expecting that the problem should linger. We are not hoping on that. We are hoping that by 2015 it will be so peaceful. And me, I'm not bothered. I just live by the day. I'm son of nobody, as I told you, and I'm today a senator. If tomorrow God says I'm not going to be a senator, that it will be it. No matter what I do. So people should have this common or strong faith, and people should be positive. I believe that with this now, Nigeria will get out of this. And if it gets out of it, we'll do election. And we are hoping that Nigeria will be peaceful again. Northeast or Borno will be peaceful. And everywhere in this country. At a certain time, in 1979, we were not talking, you can drive from Lagos to Maiduguri in the night. But today, from Lagos to Maiduguri, even in Abuja now, you cannot drive without watching your back. So let's see what will happen by God's grace.
That's why we head to this edition of Project Nigeria. Join us next week when we have another guest on the platform. Thank you.